When astronauts go to bed in space, they do not lie down. There is no mattress, no pillow, and no blanket tucked around them. Instead, they float. Some sleep standing upright, some sideways, and some even upside down. In space, there is no up or down, so the body does not care which way it faces. For astronauts living aboard the International Space Station, bedtime looks less like a bedroom and more like a quiet moment drifting inside a small floating room. Astronauts do not sleep lying down. They float inside sleeping bags attached to walls or ceilings because gravity does not pull them onto a bed. Sleeping in space sounds exciting, but it is actually one of the hardest things astronauts must learn. On Earth, gravity gently presses our bodies against a bed. That pressure tells our muscles to relax and signals the brain that it is time to rest. In space, microgravity removes that familiar feeling. Without weight pulling them down, astronauts initially feel as if they are constantly falling. During the first few days of a mission, many struggle to sleep because their brains are confused by the absence of gravity. There is no real night in orbit. Crew members see about 16 sunrises and sunsets every day as their spacecraft circles Earth every 90 minutes. To solve this, astronauts use sleeping bags that are attached to the walls of the spacecraft. The bags stop them from drifting into equipment or bumping into other crew members during the night. Some astronauts secure their sleeping bags inside small crew cabins, phone booth-sized compartments that provide privacy, dim lighting, and a sense of personal space. Sleeping bags stop midnight drifting. Without being secured, astronauts could slowly float into equipment or bump into fellow crew members while asleep. Once zipped in, they simply float inside the bag, arms relaxed. Interestingly, many astronauts say they sleep with their arms slightly raised because, without gravity, limbs do not naturally fall to the sides. Photographs from space missions often show astronauts sleeping peacefully, looking almost like they are suspended underwater. Another challenge is time itself. Arms float upward naturally. In microgravity, arms do not fall to the sides, so astronauts often sleep with their hands gently floating in front of them. The International Space Station orbits Earth roughly every 90 minutes. That means astronauts see about 16 sunrises and sunsets each day. Imagine trying to sleep when daylight keeps returning again and again. To maintain a normal routine, astronauts follow a strict schedule based on coordinated universal time, rather than what they see outside the window. Lights inside the station are carefully controlled to create artificial day and night cycles that help regulate the body's internal clock. The station hums all the time. Life support systems and fans run continuously, creating constant background noise throughout the day and night. Light matters because sleep depends on a hormone called melatonin, which tells the brain when it is time to rest. Too much light at the wrong time can confuse this system. Modern space stations even use adjustable LED lighting that changes color and brightness to mimic Earth's natural rhythms, helping astronauts fall asleep more easily. Faces look puffier in space. Body fluids shift toward the head in microgravity, giving astronauts a swollen face appearance during early days in orbit. Noise is another unexpected problem. The space station is never completely silent. Fans, air filters, and life support systems must run constantly to provide oxygen and control temperature. The gentle hum of machinery fills the background at all times. Many astronauts wear earplugs to block out sound, turning their small sleeping compartments into calmer spaces. Special lights create artificial nights. Adjustable LED lighting changes brightness and color to help astronauts maintain healthy sleep cycles. Floating also changes how the body feels during sleep. On Earth, gravity pulls fluids toward our legs. In space, fluids shift upward toward the head. This makes astronauts' faces look slightly puffy and can create a feeling similar to having a mild cold. Some astronauts report nasal congestion during the first days in orbit, which can make sleeping uncomfortable until the body adjusts. Astronauts sleep in tiny cabins. Each crew member usually has a small private compartment about the size of a phone booth. Despite these challenges, many astronauts eventually say they enjoy sleeping in space. Without pressure points from a mattress, there is no tossing and turning to find a comfortable position. Back pain sometimes improves because the spine stretches slightly in microgravity. Some astronauts even describe the sensation as the most relaxed sleep they have ever experienced. Floating can feel very comfortable, without pressure points caused by gravity. Some astronauts say their bodies feel completely relaxed during sleep. Dreams follow astronauts into orbit as well. Studies have shown that astronauts dream much like people on Earth, often about familiar places, family members, or daily activities. The brain continues its nightly work of organizing memories and processing experiences, proving that even far from home, human biology remains deeply connected to normal routines. Personal items make space feel like home. Astronauts often keep photos or small keepsakes near their sleeping area for comfort. Before bedtime, astronauts follow familiar rituals. They stick to their normal routines, and they need to stick to them so that their normal routine is unaffected. They brush their teeth using small amounts of water that must be carefully controlled so droplets do not float away. Personal items such as photographs or small keepsakes are often placed inside sleeping cabins, making the space feel more like home. Space sickness can disturb early sleep. During the first few days, the brain struggles to adjust to weightlessness, making rest difficult at first. Waking up in space can be just as unusual as falling asleep. Instead of sitting up, astronauts simply unzip their sleeping bag and gently push themselves toward the next task. Morning begins instantly, with no heavy feeling of getting out of bed because their bodies are already floating. Dreaming still happens in orbit. Astronauts report normal dreams, often about Earth, family, and familiar places. Learning to sleep in space shows how adaptable humans can be. If prompted correctly, it is very easy for the very well-trained astronauts to get this regimen done. Something as ordinary as rest becomes a scientific challenge when gravity disappears. Engineers, doctors, and astronauts work together to understand how sleep affects health, mood, and performance during long missions. Morning starts instantly. Instead of getting out of bed, astronauts simply unzip their sleeping bag and float into their workday. These lessons are especially important as space agencies plan future journeys to the Moon and Mars, where astronauts may spend months or even years away from Earth. Good sleep will be essential for clear thinking, teamwork, and safety far from home. Good sleep keeps missions safe. Proper rest helps astronauts stay alert, make accurate decisions, and perform complex tasks in space. High above our planet, while Earth turns quietly below, astronauts drift inside their small cabins, zipped into floating sleeping bags. Outside the windows, stars shine without twinkling, and sunrise arrives again far sooner than expected. Even in the vastness of space, one simple human need remains unchanged. No matter where humans travel, we still need a good night's sleep.